back to Country Maintenance. Today I'm going to show you how to strengthen up a cracked fan lid for an air conditioner. Now the fan motor actually takes 3/8" bolts that go on the top, and if all you had was a metric set, you can use a 9mm. 3/8 is actually better because it fits the head better. But
today doing some preventative maintenance. Got a cracked fan lid. It's cracked in several different places. Just wanted to show you how you can make something like this hold on rather than, spending all that money replacing it. What I've got is some 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch washers. This will strengthen that puppy up really good, and the nice 1.5 inch gives plenty of space to add a lot of strength to the fan lid. Alternatively, you could replace the whole fan lid. That'd be a different story. You can see this fan baffle, got a insert in here to anchor that better. It was coming loose. Check my videos on how to secure a loose fan baffle, more preventative maintenance. And additionally, you can actually add extra screws next to the existing screw. You can see this one is just stripped out, but I've added some extra screws there to anchor it better, make sure the fan baffle doesn't fall into the fan lid. And today I just want to make sure the entire fan motor doesn't fall through. You'd think that wouldn't happen, but I've actually had it happen, and yeah, don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do here is trace the conduit back, which is this one here, and go ahead and pull the disconnect. That'll just make working on the system a lot safer. That way it doesn't turn on, because we don't want that. Now, to speed things up here, a socket set works awesome. I've got this little socket set here, which works really good for this. You can do it by hand, but it's going to take you a long, long time. And just find the correct socket set here. This one, I've got a metric set. The bolt is probably standard. And if I don't have it, I may wind up having to do it by hand, which is what it's starting to look like. $8mm too small, 10mm too big. Oh, here it is. This is out of place. What we got is a 9mm. So got my socket here. It's long enough. And again, we pulled our disconnect, and the socket will just make this a lot faster. Now, with some of these, you have to watch every once in a while. Someone will take off the bolts that hold the motor together. So the last couple threads, you may want to hold the deal. It's silly that anyone would do that. It's much easier just to add a new bolt on the end. Okay, and this one's solid, so that's not there. But if you ever feel this move, you're going to need to make sure your bolt doesn't fall into the machine. It's much easier, again, when you're replacing motors, just to add a new bolt this way. Anyway, these are pretty rusty as well, so there's the lock washer. I actually want that on top of my deal, so I'm going to take that, and we're going to add our bolt here, or our washer. Then we'll add the locking washer, and then we'll tighten on our new bolt here. Nice and new, just update things and make this much stronger. As you can see, it's starting to bring our deal together, and now it's just a lot stronger. So just going to go through and do it on each one. On this one, I'll just put the ground wire back on top. I'll show you that one next, and I don't think you need to really see them all. I'll just give you maybe a finished shot. But again, with these, you'll have to be careful and make sure no one's used the bolt that's on the motor, otherwise that deal will pass through. It's silly that anyone would do that, and the reason I say that is because I had it happen once. I went to do this and took off this bolt right here, and the darn motor, the darn through bolt that goes through the motor fell right in the machine, so I wound up having to take the whole lid off and start over. And of course I just add, you know, the bolts to the motor, to the through bolt, and then put new bolts on the top. But anyway, what are you going to do? Common sense is not always so common out there, so it's up to you to put things in order where you're at. Anyway, alright, so there it is, and I'll again show you it when it's finished. And maybe you want to see the string on this nice Palm Springs day. It's pretty overcast today, so it's kind of cool. I get up here while it's just a hair cooler, and believe me, that hair cooler, it makes a difference. So there we go. I guess I really like doing them one at a time, and that it just keeps the motor from putting a lot of pressure on any of the other bolts. Given the weakened state of this lid, which is about to be stronger, and you could probably go with even bigger washers if you wanted to, get some, you know, 2-inch washers or whatever, but I think this is enough. It's gonna be much less likely that this puppy would go through. So what caused this lid to crack? Well, probably was those fan baffles, the screws. The baffle might have fallen off and the fan blades might have hit the fan baffle. Of course, that put a lot of torque and a lot of pressure on these screws. Anyway, we're nice and tight there, ready for business. Back in action. I'll plug the disconnect back in and I'll push the contactor in, give it a little test as well. Anyway, these 9mm works good for the bolts,
and these are a 3/8 inch on the standard size, so that's a conversion, 9mm 3/8 inch.
Don't quote me on that. 9mm works good. Alright. Yeah, it's a touch humid today. Not real bad. That heat's coming. Well, Palm Springs right now, it's still pretty nice, but coming pretty soon where it's going to be plenty warm.
Are you tired of things not working right?